So we got the oil leak fixed, and it was a pipe between the turbo and the engine, and that pipe was leaky. Got that changed, and back in the dyno again, as you can see. Been running it for some time with quite some good results actually. We're up to 1.4 bars of boost running in on 95 octane, which is the lowest octane grade here in Sweden, probably equal to 89 or 91 or whatever it is in the US. Run 95 it's called here. Anyway, it's been going fairly okay. The tune is really, again, not, it's not like an aftermarket ECU really, but we did manage to get almost 550 horsepower in the engine. So this is the graph. It looks like this. It pulls out 607 Newton meters, and the maximum power at the wheels is 477. The NIS tune itself, it looks like this. Nothing fancy really. I've been, changing all kinds of things in here. The fuel map is here. You have the timing map. It looks like this, a bit messy, maybe. And then there is different scalers, like the fuel load scale. And I have some issues actually, because when I change stuff in the timing map and the fuel map, it doesn't really react. It does react, however, on the scalers, on this K constant value, which is a load-based value, because I used the airflow meter on one side only on this car. So my wishes is really a real engine management system, and not this 35-year-old stock ECU. But obviously with that old stuff you can still make some really nice numbers. I'm using an old AVCR to adjust the boost pressure. And yeah, I can show you as well underneath the hood. I hope it still looks as nice as it did when I started. Oh yes, it does. So we've been painting up some stuff here with VG30DETT wrinkle paint. It's here. And yeah, looks nice, I think. Another issue is the air filters. They're underneath up here, and there's really no fresh air reaching that point at all. So future projects for this car will definitely be to put in some kind of hose that can lead like fresh air up to where the air filters are, so that it can get some nice fresh air, because I can really feel that it is sucking hot air, and I can see it on the numbers as well. But that's for the future. Another thing is that this car has catalytic converters on it and mufflers. It's quite restrictive. What I do have is actually an exhaust system, a stock exhaust system for this car. And I have plans to see if it's possible maybe to modify that, obviously cut it and re-weld it. But that would probably make this V6 sound really nice, since the GTR sounds quite nice. So that might be something for the future. Like on the wish list is probably engine management system that is reliable, let's put it that way, and another exhaust system. And of course, finish it up, I will do some new hangers for the front so it can be attached more in a more solid, and then the car needs to go through the MOT, the yearly check. It's actually every second year now because this car is from 1990. So that will be the next steps for this car. When tuning, I use 2 widebands because it's a V engine, so I want to have control of both sides. So I use 2 wideband sensors and 2 wideband systems. Just looks like this, very basic. One of Innovate and one Satronics. The Satronics is actually from 2004. It was my first Satronics device, and it's still working just as good as it did when I bought it 20 years ago. Fantastic. Other than that, I had VG30, the exhaust temperature and boost, and I have my magic. Check these out. Some of you might laugh now, but this is actually my best tuning reference, friend. That is knock detection. Simple hose. Take that hose, pull it underneath so that it is in contact, kind of just laying into the cylinder head where the combustion is taking place. And when the engine starts to detonate, you will hear it. Definitely, you will hear it before, because you will just hear the tone of the engine will just change into something more aggressive, and then it will start pinging like tick, 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 and you will hear it right away. So that is my best tuning reference that I use. I have several expensive detonation hardware stuff as well, with knock sensors and stuff like that. But the funny thing is that those mechanical whatever, $10 stuff, I just hear it much sooner. It's just so much more clear with that compared to a knock sensor. So I'm really happy for that. Also, that's something that I built up like 20 years ago, but it's working extremely well. So knock is really what kills the engines, and you can't really hear it. Well, you can't hear it inside of the car when you drive it. So knock is really something that you need to have in place. And that's one of the references that I use when tuning. So knock, wideband, exhaust gas temperature, and obviously boost pressure. So you will see when you reach the limit. If you add more boost and it starts to knock, then you will need to advance your timing. And when doing that, your EGT, your exhaust gas temperature, will start to rise. So you don't want to go too high in exhaust gas temperature, because it will kill the turbos. And it's kind of the limit there. When you have so much boost pressure that you need to advance the timing, then you see that your exhaust gas temperature is really running away. And obviously, if the AFR or your lambda, your mixture is good. But if the EGT is running away, and you can also see what your timing is in the map, when that starts to happen, then you know that you're reaching the limit of what the engine can take. And to be able to get more power, then you will probably need bigger turbos or bigger camshafts, or an exhaust system that is not restrictive that it is on this car. So at this point, 550 horsepower in the engine and almost 700 Newton meters in the engine. I'm really happy with that, considering what it is. I might be able to get more, or I will be able to get more with another exhaust system, and some fresh air, etc. So let's see if I will perhaps do like I set a goal for 600 horsepower maybe in the future. But right now, I'm really happy that the things are stable with the temperatures. Everything seems to be fine with the car itself. And right now I will just finish this car up and enjoy it actually. So then we will see for the future. So I'm really happy that you have watched the videos. There will come more with other cars in the future. We have several other projects coming. So stay tuned for more. All tune, 548 horsepower and 700 Newton meters in the engine, running 1.4 bars of boost on normal pump gas. Next up for this car, as you can see, it has been polished, so it's quite nice now and shiny. Next up for this one will be new wheels and a set of coilovers. So here we have the D2 street coils. These will be assembled on the car, but before we do that, we will need to, well, I usually lubricate the threads. This is how you adjust the height of the car and the threads here if you don't do anything. And you know, weather in Sweden, rain, that is equal to corrosion, then you will not be able to adjust this in a couple of years perhaps. So I will take this sleeve off and I will put grease on the threads and then I will put it back together again. So these D2 coilovers will come onto the car so we can get a really nice ride height on it. And the new wheels, which are Koenig wheels, they will come on. It's 18s. Now on the car, I used to have these ones that actually came with the car, some Italian 19s. So I'm not really sure how it will sit with 18s, but yeah, we will see very soon, actually. There's quite some work to do before you can change the shocks, because all the kind of interior plastic here, which is laying here, needs to come off, and then you can access the upper mounts from here. And yeah, here's the old shock. And the reason for changing was actually that this one specifically started to leak. These has been changed, it's not stock, these are some, I think, KYB. But leaky shocks means that, you know, it's soon time to retire. And as you can see in the front, it sits with 2 bolts here. Yeah. So let's see how it will look with new coilovers on.